The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. A demoniac who could not speak was brought to Jesus, and when the demon was driven out, the mute man spoke. The crowds were amazed and said, "Nothing like this has ever been seen in Israel." But the Pharisees said, "He drives out demons by the prince of demons." Jesus went around to all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and curing every disease and illness. At the sight of the crowds, his heart was moved with pity for them, because they were traveled and abandoned, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few. So ask the master of the harvest to send out laborers for his harvest." The Gospel of the Lord. Today, with the help of the first reading, we see the origins of the people of Israel. And it is a fight between a man that it is called Jacob and a man that we don't know the name. Even Jacob was asking, "What is your name?" And how you dare to say my name, right? Then he assumes by the answer that he was fighting God. So during that night of fight, what we see in here, it is not actually the muscles or the wrestling of a man towards God. Who's going to win? God is going to win always. You don't have the force to fight God. It is something that it is more spiritual. The beginning of that reading, it tells that Jacob took all his possessions, all his things, and he passed to a new land. So he is basically taking care of what he has. When he gets to the other side and the fight starts, he is not fighting because he wants to fight. He doesn't even know the name of the man he's fighting. He's fighting to protect, to take care of the things that he is bringing to the new land. So in that reading, it also happens something that it is spiritual, and it is the change of a name. The change of Jacob to Israel. Jacob, it is the beginning of the people of God, the Israelites. But that change of name, it also involves the words of St. Paul, to make the old man go and the new man to appear. And that it's a call for every single one of us. Actually, that happens during the life of the sacraments. The priest will say, "What is the name that you want to give to the baby that you are bringing to the sacrament of baptism?" And in that moment, the nameless, it receives a name for eternity. It is a change from the old. You bring somebody with the original sin, and after that sacrament, now you have a new man, a man in grace. And the life of the sacraments will help him to maintain in that position. Passing from that first reading, now we're able to see the heart of Jesus. And it is a heart that it's taking care, just like Jacob in the first reading. Jacob is taking care of his possession and his family. And he's even willing to fight during the night to receive the blessing of that man that he's fighting. Jesus also sees the people of Israel, and he says that his heart was moved with pity. Why? Because they are sheep like without a shepherd. So he cures, he evangelizes, he takes care of these people, just like Jacob, taking care of what belongs to him. But he extends in that gospel the blessing to all of us. So it is not only Jesus taking care of his people. Actually, the Lord is giving an instruction. Ask to the owner of the what? Are you sure? I'm testing you. Go and tell the master of the harvest to send more laborers. What is the meaning of that? It means that not only Jesus, but he is preparing all of us also to take care from each other. So if you review all the sacraments, you review all the commandments and all, they are finally a relationship between us and God, but also between us to take care. Let's bring examples. Why don't you steal? Why it's the Lord telling you in that commandment, do not steal? Why? To take care of the others. Why are you going to take my book if I like my book and I'm having fun with my book and it belongs to me in this time? So you want to have it. You go, you ask, you prepare, maybe you'll get your book, but I don't take it from you. Why? Because I want to take care of you. Why don't you tell lies? Lies, they help. They fix problems very fast, right? But later, what is that producing in you? It is not producing happiness, and it is not producing happiness in the person that is receiving the lies when he discovers. So why I avoid the lies? Because I want to take care of the others. And all the sacraments and all the commandments and all the teachings, they go in that way. Finally, the Lord will take all those teachings and bring that to one phrase. He will say then, do all of that. And why? Because you love me and you love your neighbor as you love yourself. You see, it is all the Bible in a compendium. It is like compressed in only one phrase. So the Lord, following that gospel, it also brings to attention that if we don't handle our hearts well, if we don't start paying attention, helping others, and developing this evangelization, extending the capacity of being shepherds. Because shepherd, it is not only the poor Father Ivan that needs to talk to you. Yeah, mine it's a little bit more visual, but you're also a shepherd, and you have sheep to take care and to answer to God. So if we don't pay attention, maybe it could happen like the Pharisees of that gospel, that after the miracle, they are still so hardened of heart that they say he is driven out demons by the power of devil. How could you say that when the Holy Spirit is acting in Jesus, when the Holy Spirit is producing the graces of setting free a man that was tortured by being mute? You see, how can the hearts of these people go that way? And not only that, they have a title, the title of being Pharisees. And the Pharisees, they were people that they knew more than the others because they had access to the Holy Scriptures. They were all the time in the temple. They were information. So how could it be that the people closer to that experience of the Israelite religion, right? They are the ones with a heart that is like steel. How could it be? So it is something to pay attention. It is something not to be said like, ooh, I'm a Pharisee, I'm going to be like that. No, it is for us to, like I like to say, shake a little bit, right? And put all the dust that you don't need away and have the heart that God is expecting from all of us.